What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to do a quick fix video and comparison of the Metal Club MuscleBear Beast King, or their version of a KO Blitzway Voltron. So I did an unboxing of these guys, and during the unboxing I was a little disappointed with these two specifically because their legs were falling off, the blue and yellow lion. And after the unboxing, I figured out you can actually pretty easily fix it. Pretty simple fix, but I wanted to make sure everyone knew about it. We'll also do a quick comparison with the original so you can tell the differences. But first, let's talk about the fix. So the issue is the legs are on little pegs like this, and they fall off very easily just by touching them or pulling them. They come off. And the issue is, or the problem is, there's three little ridges on these pegs, and they're just not installed. They're not pushed in all the way. So they need to be pushed in all the way. Here's the back, same thing. There's a little trick to the back one, but the front one is relatively simple and easy. And I'll just show you, here's the blue line. I've already fixed the blue line. So you can rotate the leg, you can push it in and out. It's not going to pop off. So that's what it should look like if it's fixed. So back on this one, rotates back and forth. I can pop it in and out, and it doesn't fall off. So that's what it should be. So to fix it, for the front leg, you're literally just going to apply pressure until it clicks into place. So get it lined up, and then you can just hold the other side for some leverage, and you're going to push, and then you'll hear a click. So I heard the click. So yeah, there you go. Pretty simple on the front one. For the back one, you do have to fold out this panel. You're going to get the leg folded up into combine mode like this. There's a little slot right here. You had to line that up with that. So make sure that all lines up. That gives you the maximum space to press. And you can see this leg has a gap, right? So you're trying to get rid of that gap. So I'd recommend you do the same thing on the other side, especially if you haven't fixed it yet. Get that leg folded up. And just leave these two doors open. And what you're doing is applying pressure here, and you'll hear a click again. So let's do that. There you go. That's it. So once you hear that click, you know that tab's made its way in, and now it should be able to rotate, go in and out, pull in and out, and not fall off. So pretty simple fix. I'm not really sure why they didn't just do that prior to shipping it out, but hopefully this helps you enjoy this figure. Although it is discounted compared to the original, it's still relatively expensive, and so it was disappointing if you didn't have working legs. But let's get into the quick comparisons. All right, starting off with the yellow lion, I'm going to have the official on the left and the KO on the right as we go through this review and comparison. But first thing you're going to notice is the official has silver chromed legs, fully chromed, like a mirror chrome finish. Actually, it is kind of a fingerprint magnet, so it's nice to have lines that don't have that, because you can mess with them and not worry about having to wipe off the fingerprints. These ones you really do have to wipe them off. But it does have a different finish, so just be aware of that. The other thing is anywhere where you see chromed silver, like right here, any accents have now become silver paint. Another big difference is the light up feature. So the KO doesn't have the light up feature. If you look on the official, there's a little button on the inside of the head, and you get that light up feature, although my battery's probably dying down. The KO doesn't have light up feature. In fact, there's no assembly at all. There's no LED, there's nothing. And the eyes are painted a little bit differently. Let me turn this off so you can just see the difference. But the eyes are painted a little bit more in a metallic blue, whereas the KO has just a dark blue. Very, very slight, minor difference. But if you want that light up feature, you have to get the official. The KO doesn't have that. Cost-saving measure, which makes sense, right? If you're trying to buy a cheaper version, take out the feature that maybe people don't need. But that's really it. You can still rotate these up. I will say the KO is a little bit tighter, but all the same features. Everything still works. It still transforms exactly the same. One thing I've noticed is the ratchets in the elbows of the KO are actually tighter, or they sound different, right? They're tighter and they sound different. I don't know if it's just a different mechanism, maybe it's a different material, but they do feel a lot tighter on the KO. Alright, so here are the blue lions, and again, same difference that I just talked about. Instead of the chrome silver, we've got the painted silver, and then same for the accents. If there's any chromed accents, they're now regular, although I don't think this one has any chromed silver accents. On the head, they just didn't paint that little green. They left it black. Not a big deal, but a minor difference. And then, of course, the ratchets I mentioned earlier are stronger in the KO. So that's really it for the blue lion. It has like almost exact same differences. Same thing with the lights in the head. It doesn't have the lights on the KO. But let's move on to the next one. All right, here's green lion. And again, same thing. Instead of the chromed silver, you got the painted silver. Instead of the chromed gold, there's a couple accents here and there. It's kind of this bronze color. Eyes are slightly different in color. And like I mentioned, the KO doesn't have the, I can't remember, does this have the light up feature? Yeah, it does. It has a little battery, whereas the KO doesn't have that little battery. It has the compartment, but there's no electronics there. But other than that, pretty much the same. They both still have this. No change there. So let's move on to red line. All right, here's the red line, and same thing. Instead of the chrome silver, painted silver. This one doesn't look like it has any of those gold accents or silver accents, so nothing there. You do still have this feature, and the LED has been removed from the head, so same stuff that we just saw. All right, and finally we have the black lion, and black lion has quite a few differences. Like I mentioned, instead of the chromed silver, got the painted silver. Instead of the gold chrome ears and chrome accents here, we have the bronze color for the ears and then the bronze for the accents. So that's a pretty significant color difference anyway. As far as ratchets and everything, everything's pretty much the same. The drop-down hip joints feel a little bit different. They're a little bit, again, stronger, or just more resistance on the KO than there is on the official. It's not a problem in either one. They both work in Voltron mode, but here's the back. So yeah, very, very close, just some minor differences. Then of course the electronics have been removed from the head, so you don't have the light up eyes here on Voltron. And the switch is down here, so I'll just show you right here. If you push that switch up, you get the light up feature. And I love that. It looks really good, but not necessary for everybody. So this one, there's just no switch, there's no electronics. All the wiring, everything's been removed. So it's got all the same mold and sculpt, and even holes for the wiring. It just doesn't have the actual wiring. So they've changed that. As far as the face, it does look pretty much the same. I have the yelling face on, but it is basically identical as far as the sculpt and the details, the paint. Maybe minor differences in the shading or the color palette, but overall very, very similar. All right, the final thing to compare here are the accessories, and there are some differences. So number one, you don't get this beautiful stand where you can actually mount the lions, and you can mount Voltron. You can also put the weapons on there. You also don't get these minifigures. So the little driver, you can actually use them, but they do look nice. We can't actually put them inside or anything like that. The other thing is, with the stand not being there, you don't get the storage, so all of the weapons store in here. So I'll just open that for now so you can compare. And as far as the number of accessories, other than the stand and the minifigures, you get exactly the same number. You get exactly the same stuff, with the exception of the color. So like I mentioned earlier, instead of the chromed silver, we now get the painted silver. And that's true for the blazing sword and the spinning disc and this sword. I forgot the name of it. This double-edged sword, whatever they call it. That's really the only difference, is the color of the weapons. These appear to be very similar. They're just still done with silver paint, just like the original. And then these weapons down here for the lion modes, those are basically identical. Not really any changes there. All right, there he is in fully combined mode. And I'm not going to go into super detail here. I just want to demo how it works or if there's any issues. I will say putting them together, no issues. The joints all work just fine. The arm joints, the leg joints, all the ratchets, the clicking pieces, they all seem to work. The only thing I couldn't get to work properly is the ab extension. There is an ab extension here if you want to. It's just very tight. I can't get it out. So I got it one click before, but now I can't even get it. On the original, you could actually extend that. So if you wanted a slightly different look, here's the original. You could pull up on this and so you can get that little extension there. And this one, I can't seem to get that, so I don't know if it's just stuck or whatever. But other than that, everything else is working fine. So head goes up to there, and obviously it moves a little bit smoother because there's no electronics in there, but down to there, side to side, rotates around, everything you need. The arms go up on a shoulder joint on a ratchet. It will hold. Also go up on this ratchet joint, and he holds that as well. Up to the side, seems to work. Rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbow here. So you can get the bottom elbow. You can also go in and out on this piece here. And you can extend there. The wrist can go in and out and can bend back and forth. We have the rotation. The rotation's a little bit on the loose side. Not like worrisome or anything, but it is loose. You have ab crunch. That works fine. For the legs, they do have a drop down hip. Goes up, but if you get it on the drop down joint, you can get it a little bit more. He can hold the weight, but it is very, very heavy. There's a lot of die cast on this leg. Again, if you drop down the hip, you can get it back a little bit further. Rotation. There is a ratchet at the knee. And does it hold? Yeah, I think it holds. It's a little heavy. It's very, not a little, it's very heavy. You have ankle tilt. You have this extension there, and then the head itself can move. Like I mentioned, the only thing that really doesn't work on this guy like it used to on the original is this extension. But everything else seems to be working just fine. All right, and there they are on the Blitzway stand, and they all work. They're compatible. Everything fits together nicely. And I think I'm going to end the review here. So, final thoughts on this Metal Club MuscleBear Voltron. It's really good. I think for the price point, they've gotten rid of things that I think people are willing to give up, like the LED eyes and the minifigures and the stand and some of the other things like the gold chrome and the silver chrome. I think you don't need those, and it's a good way to bring the price point down. But of course, you know, this is a KO, so I can't really give it a score, right? Because they didn't design anything here. They haven't done anything new. They haven't added anything. They haven't changed any design. But I think it's a good option for people who want to enjoy the Blitzway but don't need all those features that I mentioned. And for me personally, you know, I'm planning to display them using the stand. I haven't decided which one is going to go in lion mode. It might be these guys, but you know, I'm just not sure yet. But either way, it works. So you could do it. You can display these guys in Voltron mode, and you could use the other one for lion mode or vice versa. But that's really it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.